Tired of being sidelined by a sports injury? Get back in the game with Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Whether you're a professional athlete or even a weekend warrior, you can get back to doing what you love with our compassionate orthopedic team. Experience a new level of care and get back to your best. Welcome to being treated like a pro. Make an appointment today at baptisthealth.net/ortho or call 833-556-6764.
Hi, I'm Michael Manzo, owner and founder of Manzo's Italian Deli, and
Stop, Dad. After 20 years, people are tired of hearing your voice.
Yeah, and your lame-ass commercials.
Fresh prosciutto, mozzarella, outstanding.
Oh, please.
There's only one reason Manzo's is voted #1 deli in Palm Beach County for 20 years. Our mother.
She makes sure you prepare everything from scratch using only the freshest ingredients.
Manzo's Italian Deli is located on Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard, right next to Rain Dancers.
Is that a strip club?
No, it's a steakhouse. Manzo's is open weekdays from 8 to 5 and offers free delivery. So stop by or call 697-9411. That's 697-9411.
we also specialize in hot and cold catering for corporate functions and special events.
Just ask anyone who was at my last birthday party.
Mike Rizzo here with the Sports Business Minute presented by the FAU MBA in Sport Management Program. Juan Soto, 15 years, $765 million. Shohei Ohtani, 10 years, $700 million. These are the most lucrative contracts in sports, and they are obviously within MLB. The CBA, the collective bargaining agreement within the MLB, is set to expire December 1st of 2026. MLB and its commissioner, Rob Manfred, are having discussions about a possible salary cap. Baseball has never had a salary cap. Could be something to keep an eye on. This is the Sports Business Minute presented by the FAU MBA in Sport Management Program. Accelerate your career in sports with the program committed to developing top-notch executives and managers with a focus on the job placement for students and graduates. The FAU MBA in Sport Management Program.
It's the Hard Rock Bet Battle of the Bets. Two bets facing off. Winning side splits $250K in bonus bets every single day. Time to pick a side. Team underdogs or team favorites. Team over or team under. There's one way to settle this. Hard Rock Bet Battle of the Bets. Pick a side for $1. Win your share of $250K or more today. Prize pool to be paid out in bonus bets, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 1063.
WUUB Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Breakups are always ugly, especially when you're breaking up with an over-the-hill, narcissistic, formerly franchise quarterback.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell it.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
Good heap. It's a feel-good Friday. It is a feel-good Friday here on Theoretically Speaking, Friday, April 18th. We are a day away from tipping off the NBA playoffs. Tonight, we have two more play-in games, two battles of the incredibly mediocre in the West. The Mavericks and the Grizzlies, two teams that have already given up on their season, but Adam Silver's forcing them to roll the ball back out there. Somebody's got to win. Somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to play the Thunder. And in the East, we have the Atlanta Hawks and my favorite team, the Miami Heat, which, again, two teams who should be punting on the rest of the season. I think the Hawks have already melded in, but for some reason, the Heat just love winning games when it doesn't matter. Sea-Cat's on the other side of the glass on the ones and the twos, and you're already looking snarky. What do you have to say?
Are you familiar with the Hunger Games? The concept of it?
Yes, hold on. Let me think. Okay. All right. Hunger Games is the show HBO Max, right?
No, we're 0 for 2.
Okay.
Not a show, not HBO Max.
Hunger Games is a movie?
It is a movie series that was based on some books. Got Jennifer Lawrence in it. Her name's Katniss Evergreen.
Okay, yes, you are. So you're right. Hunger Games was a movie series. It came out the same time as the big show on Max, though. It was
Anyway, the thing is, you've got these
people die.
kids. Yeah, you got these kids that are on this fight to survive in order to determine who wins the Hunger Games, whatever. But it's as if you had the NBA play-in tournament is a couple of 9-year-olds that are fighting to the death in order to enter the Hunger Games where they're going to get slaughtered no matter what. It's like these two 9-year-olds that are going to throw haymakers back and forth tonight, tooth and nail, to make it in the NBA playoffs, where you've got two gargantuans as 1 seeds that will eat them for lunch.
Yeah.
What are you fighting for?
It's futile.
Worst draft pick, excuse me, and the worst possible scenario for the playoffs.
It is. It's absolutely futile. It is. That's a good comp. That's a perfect comp because
didn't even see the movies.
None of the teams playing. Well, it is. It's a perfect comp. I didn't need to see the movies to understand it because, again, none of the teams playing tonight have a shot in the dark at not only escaping the first round but winning a championship, which would be the ultimate goal. So, again, irrelevant. So instead of talking the playoffs to start the show off, I want to talk breakups. I want to talk about the separation that happened between the New York Jets and Aaron Rodgers some 37 days ago, but who's keeping count? Rodgers became a free agent for the first time, right? Nearly 40 days ago. He still does not have a new free agent home. He doesn't have a new NFL team to go to, and I wonder why that is for the future Hall of Famer. Oh, wait. He alluded to possibly why that is because he did a tell-all. Who would have thought it? Rodgers tell-all. He did this in the middle of our show, by the way, yesterday on the Pat McAfee show. So thanks a lot, Aaron Rodgers. Is that why our streaming numbers were down, CCAT?
Yeah, people were tuning in. Yeah. Finally, Aaron Rodgers opens up. We've been finally waiting to see what's going on inside that head of his.
Rodgers over here stealing numbers away from theoretically speaking. That was the first place he went wrong. The second place he went wrong was doing the tell-all with Pat McAfee on the ESPN airwaves, but I'm so glad he did because he gave us some fodder for Friday. Here it is. I'll start with this. I'll tell you how I feel about this. We all know what happened already, but we will go back through Rodgers' words so I can explain to you why I feel this way. Aaron Rodgers is wrong. The Jets are correct. And when it comes to the newly minted head coach, Aaron Glenn for the New York Jets, he just brought the Jets to victory. He got his first win for the Jets before the season kicks off, before they even go through the NFL draft, by being steadfast, by continuing a certain type of messaging that I do think can help break the curse of the Jets. The reason why they've had such a long drought when it comes to postseason success or any kind of sustained, excellence in that program, Aaron Glenn has them on the right track, and Aaron Rodgers helped me come to that conclusion just with his side of the story. I haven't even heard what the Jets have to say about how the meeting went when they linked up with Aaron Rodgers. I've only heard Rodgers' side of the story, and the very fact that I can hear him, like that guy, the guy that is a spin doctor. He is a king of deception. He likes to misconstrue things and make it feel like a propaganda thing to make him look good, to make other people's look bad. He draws out sympathy. Rodgers' tell-all on McAfee show probably hurt him in the public image more than it helped him. Let's just go. We're going to walk through his words, CCAT. Let's start with him explaining how the meeting came to be and him flying out to New York.
That was an interesting 2 years, to say the least. But, I figured that when I flew across country on my own dime, that there was going to be a conversation. And the confusing thing to me and the strange thing was, when I went out there, I meet with the coach. We start talking. He runs out of the room.
Pause it right there, please. Okay, so from just that snippet from his tell-all, I drew two things, CCAT. Number one, on the front end, Aaron Rodgers is trying to draw sympathy from the public and is trying to make the Jets look like the bad guys for making him go to work. He got called to work at the place of his employment, the place that he cashes checks despite his lack of excellence of play. They are paying him a pretty penny to be as bad as he's been as a quarterback, and they said, hey, can you come into the office for a meeting? He didn't tell us how much of a heads up they gave him. He did not tell us that this was like they told him the night before and it was the next morning. All he said was he had to fly across the country to go to work. Now, CCAT, forgive me if I'm wrong. You work here at ESPN West Palm here in the West Palm office.
I sure do.
Would it be weird if, let's just say you were visiting family or something out in California, and our general manager, Steph here, Steph Prince, she says, hey, CCAT, I'd like to meet with you in person next week in the office. That cool? Would you criticize ESPN West Palm for you spending your money to fly to work to meet with Steph in person? Is that like on her?
No, I used my money to fly out to California. It's probably my responsibility to get myself back home to my place of work.
Yeah, it's work. It's your occupation. That's why they pay you. Literally, the reason why you're able to fly back and forth so much, yeah, because you've been cashing them NFL checks. So first off, he tries to draw sympathy by making us all feel bad for the $200, $300 million man having to fly across the country. I'm sure it was a terrible experience. The second part of that, he tries to draw sympathy from us and paint the Jets and Aaron Glenn in a bad light because he said that as they started the meeting in the Meadowlands, Aaron Glenn scurries out of the room. Mid-meeting, mid-talk. And who was Aaron Glenn going out of the room to go get?
It was the GM.
The GM, okay. So one of the people that makes like personnel decisions around the office, the new GM. Okay. He also referred to the GM as the GM. I don't think Aaron Rodgers knows the GM's name. Let's go back. Let's listen to that from the top again. I want y'all to reconsume that just with that knowledge. He's trying to draw sympathy from the public.
That was an interesting 2 years, to say the least. But, I figured that when I flew across country on my own dime, that there was going to be a conversation. And the confusing thing to me, and the strange thing was, when I went out there, I meet with the coach. We start talking. He runs out of the room.
Runs.
I'm like, that's kind of strange. I was like, then he comes back with the GM.
Oh, that makes sense.
I'm like, all right. So we sit down in the office. I think we're going to have this long conversation. I've flown across the country.
Pause it, CK. Oh, he flew across the country once more. He flew across the country. Hey, forgive me if I'm wrong again, CCAT. When the Jets had like a practice last offseason and, Rodgers had never thrown a completed pass to Garrett Wilson or most of the receivers on the Jets in an actual NFL game before. And Rodgers was supposed to be there to kind of build chemistry with his team because he was focused on football. Did he fly across the world? He flew across the globe, actually.
He was bettering himself outside of this country.
Yeah. But no, flying across the country, just West Coast to East Coast is, oh, God. Aaron, they made you do that? Aaron, they made you, okay, I feel bad for him. I'm sorry. Aaron, Rodgers, it's working. It's working. So now we have sympathy for Rodgers. The Jets are the bad guys. They made him fly across the country to go to work. Whereas, again, last summer, when you were supposed to just walk into the office and practice with your teammates, you flew across the seas to go kick it while they were actually practicing. But yeah, well, never mind that. We can continue. I'm sorry.
And 20 seconds in, he goes, literally, I'm talking to the GM about something, and he leans to the edge of his seat and goes, so do you want to play football?
All right, pause it. Fair question?
I think so.
For the new head coach of the team that's taking over, knowing that for the past 4 years of your life, every summer you have contemplated retirement publicly. You publicly contemplated retirement. This is a new head coach. He's a very football-oriented, no-nonsense guy. He says, do you want to play football? All right, so if you have it rewinded back to where we can get Aaron's full response there.
So do you want to play football? I was like, yeah, I'm interested. And he said, we're going a different direction at quarterback.
Pause it.
And I said,
pause it. You haven't met Aaron Glenn before, CK.
No, we have not had the pleasure.
I haven't necessarily met him, but I did kind of meet him at the owners' meeting. Yeah. We dapped up, and I told him, congrats on the job, and I like this fresh fit. It was quick. It was a quick interaction, but I was in his presence. We talked for a quick second. What I will say is it's easy to understand, most likely, where Aaron Glenn comes from, what he's about, right? He's kind of no nonsense. Remember, what did he say about the Jets? Here it is.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this.
He's an aggressive dude. Straight to the point. Old school,
This is the Aaron Glenn era.
Yes.
He's saying it's been a mess in New York for a while, but now I'm here. Things are different.
So if you're Aaron Rodgers, you know who you're dealing with. Hopefully you've done your homework if you actually care about, potentially staying with the team like you're purporting yourself to be doing. You've done your homework. You know Aaron Glenn's a no-nonsense guy. He asks you in the middle of this meeting, do you want to play football? And you answer like that. Nonchalantly, oh, yeah, like, sure. And who knows how he actually answered? This is what he's telling us he said. Who knows what his body language was like? Because, again, we're only getting one side of the story. Who knows what he actually said verbatim? And who knows how it came off to Aaron Glenn and, quote-unquote, the GM of the Jets? So then here's Aaron Glenn's response to him in the words of Rodgers.
Going a different direction at quarterback. And I was kind of shocked. Now, not shocked because I didn't think that was a possibility.
Oh, so you knew.
Listen, of course, they want to move on. That's totally fine. But shocked because I just flew across country. You could have told me this on the phone.
Third time you mentioned that.
There's another half of this about the interaction that ensued.
This is a joke. This is an absolute joke. It is a pity party. Aaron Rodgers went on the Pat McAfee show and tried to throw a pity party. He's trying to elicit sympathy from the fools out there that want to warm and nuzzle themselves up to Aaron Rodgers because I guess they think he's really smart or he's intellectual or he has really a thoughtful process or he has some good theories or maybe they want to try some ayahuasca with him. I don't know. And I don't even say this jokingly, but this, when you listen to it, even with the smallest bit of criticism or a critical eye or ear, you can tell it's just like he's throwing himself a pity party trying to see how many people he can scurry up into his camp to say, oh, look, the Jets are bad and they did me wrong. That's all it feels like to me.
Do you want to hear how it continues?
Yeah, sure. Let's just for stuff and giggles, let's hear the rest of Rodgers' horrible experience with Aaron Glenn and the GM of the Jets.
So I said, huh? And he goes, we just want to know how you want it released.
All right.
The messaging. And I said, verbatim, I don't give a about the message. Ooh. And I said, why? And then he said, I don't want to be up in front of the room saying something and have guys looking back at you.
Interesting.
And I said, what does that even mean? Are you assuming that I would be in the back of the room during a team meeting undermining what you're saying? I said, you don't know me. And he said, you don't know me.
All right, pause it right there, please. Very quick. We'll continue the rest of it. I think of all the people in the NFL today, for you to try somebody at a table, a guy who is in your team facilities here, has all the insight to the many of coaches, front office members, personnel, security, everybody around that has dealt with Aaron Rodgers for the past 2 years, a guy that probably has done his homework, right? So he has all the behind-the-scenes stuff, let alone the fact that, hey, Aaron, the whole freaking world knows you at this point. You get your shtick. You do weekly reports on the Pat McAfee show. You're right. Remember the Hard Knocks? You did a whole Hard Knocks thing where you were like the prince, the promised prince for the New York Jets. We got a lot of behind the scenes action of you. He doesn't know you, but Aaron Glenn, as it pertains to what his job is and his responsibility to the Jets, Aaron Glenn knows more about Rodgers, at least objectively. Aaron Glenn knows more about Rodgers than Rodgers knows about himself as it pertains to being the quarterback for the New York Jets. Because Rodgers has a obviously misconstrued perception of who and what he is to that franchise, whereas Aaron Glenn understands it from front to back. So when he tells you I'm going in a different direction and he gives you one example of why he wouldn't want to deal with you, it feels very obvious, especially as after your conversation, you do a tell-all on Pat McAfee where you're trying to elicit sympathy and you're crying about flying cross country and you're mad that people have a conversation with you in person. It is so clear to me that Aaron Glenn knows exactly who you are. What's there left? You put out a freaking documentary on Netflix of you doing drugs overseas for a whole month. What's there left to know, Aaron? Does he need to read a book too? Do we need to watch all the podcasts that he consumes on YouTube? What is that, the Joe Rogan experience? Like, what is Aaron Rodgers? Are you that complex of an individual? Are you that much of an enigma? Oh, I got to watch myself there. What are you doing, Aaron Rodgers? We know you.
I think a one-on-one conversation before making conclusions on who somebody is and who somebody will be for the 2025 season is owed to him. At least one conversation, yeah.
Why?
You might confirm preconceived notions, but yeah, if it's a one-on-one conversation, yeah.
Why? Why would I need that? I don't need a conversation with you, especially if I've already made my mind up because I know you as a football player. That's first and foremost. I know you're a 40-year-old past his prime quarterback who is afraid of pressure, who is not who he used to be, but still in his own mind thinks he is, and he also seems to be a head case to deal with. I know that you're putting out documentaries mid-season. I know that you skipped practice last offseason. Instead of working on chemistry, you were working on a documentary. I know that you are publicly putting out conspiracy theories on the airwaves. You're doing weekly appearances on the Pat McAfee show. You have actively undermined your own teammates and coaches time and time again throughout your career, most specifically in the past couple of years with the Jets. Like, I know all of that, and I didn't even do the research. Aaron Glenn probably knows 5 times as much as that. He knows enough about Rodgers to know he doesn't want him to be his quarterback. Now, does he know enough to be disparaging about his actual character or him as a human being? No. But Aaron Glenn knows Aaron Rodgers, the football player and the leader and the potential locker room guy, and he knows he don't want that around his locker room. That's fair. I mean, he has all of the reporting and details he needs to make that decision before a conversation. And let's not forget, he gave Rodgers a chance. Remember, the beginning of this whole soundbite was, hey, do you want to play football? And Rodgers is like, I mean, sure, but you really gotta beg for me, Aaron. It's corny, bro. You're not getting any sympathy out of me.
Yeah, you're getting a little bit out of me.
Why?
I do think that the organization and the head coach and the GM of this situation are supposed to hold themselves to a higher standard and take the high road and not just reciprocate what you think this quarterback, this disgruntled former quarterback now, is going to give to you. I don't think you match the same energy. I think that's the responsibility of the employer of the organization to give him more common courtesy.
And look, sure, the common courtesy was having that meeting in person and giving you a chance to actually probably fight on your behalf. But again, we're only getting Aaron Rodgers' tell-all of this story. Are you going to really sit here and give the benefit of the doubt to Aaron Rodgers and act as if he didn't come into that meeting a bit smug? Act as if he wasn't condescending in his tone and speaking to Aaron Glenn and the GM, who he still hasn't said the dude's name. He still has not said the GM's name. I was talking to the GM. He went and got I don't think he knows the GM's name.
I'll be honest, I'm going to forgive him for that. He should know it. I actually don't.
I don't either. We should know it because he should be saying it. He should say the name of the GM, but he doesn't give a damn.
Mike T would be so disappointed in us.
I mean, they just hired the dude. Oh, you're right. Mike T hired the dude. I'm sorry, Mike T. Here's the thing, man. And Vontae just said it in our YouTube chat. Again, you can listen to us on ESPN 106.3 FM dial. Tell your smart speaker to play ESPN 106.3 or go on YouTube at ESPN West Palm and tap in. Vontae says it in our YouTube chat here. Glenn probably told himself and the GM, if he acts like he doesn't want to play, we're going to go with Fields. I believe that wholeheartedly. I think Rodgers, if he was steadfast, if he felt committed, if he was earnest and said, hey, dude, I know what it looks like. I know what you've seen over the past 2 years. That's not me. I want to play football. I want to finish my career as the New York Jets quarterback, and I want to be able to turn this thing around. I want to finish what I started. He could have, at the very least, convinced Aaron Glenn that he was serious about this. And in his opportunity to do it in person, instead, he's playing the victim. He's trying to elicit sympathy, and even his tell-all ain't strong enough. It's weird as hell that usually you need two sides of the story to come to some kind of fair opinion on things. All we've heard is Rodgers' tell-all, and still most of the general public listen to that, watch that, and are like, yeah, it's probably Rodgers' fault. The Jets are probably correct in this. Plus, C-Cat, if you were the GM or the head coach of the Jets, would you be bringing Rodgers back?
No, I probably wouldn't, but I wouldn't do it this way.
How would you do it?
I would do a phone call. I would read the situation. It seems like Rodgers isn't 100% all in, so I would give him a phone call, and I would tell him, like, hey, listen, like, this is the situation right now. Or I would give him a fair shake at things. Because I think the problem is, flew out there for a very short meeting where it appears as though Glenn and the Jets GM, which is Darren Moogie, by the way,
there you go.
They had their mind made up, and this is a whole waste of time.
You could have just said any two names, and I would agree. Yeah,
exactly. It's actually Kyle Schneider, the new GM of the New York Jets. That rolls off the tongue.
Morgan Freeman, actually, the new GM of the New York Jets, is.
Yes, I think there was three options here, and they did the worst of both. You either do a short phone call, rip the Band-Aid off, or do a long, in-depth meeting where the mind is not made up of the Jets GM and head coach, where you give them a fair shake and you eventually get to the resolution that this relationship is coming to an end.
Here's my point, and here's why I agree to disagree. I agree to disagree. I'm not going to wait on you to agree to disagree. I'm doing it for us.
You cannot speak for the both of us about agreeing to disagree. That's fair.
I agree. No, especially with an illogical person, a rash person, a narcissist, somebody who is heavily emotional, but just in general, there is no right way to break up. You're saying, I would have done the phone call, and then I would have. But then you know what Roger would be saying on McAfee's show today? Or yesterday? He would say, can you believe that the way that Christian Cat told me I would no longer be playing for the Jets was with a quick 5-minute phone call? He literally picks up, calls me out of nowhere. I pick it up. I'm thinking we could have a good casual conversation and catch up. I think he might be a Black Mirror fan like me. Maybe he wants to do some ayahuasca. I know a guy. No. He jumps right into the conversation, and he tells me that my services are no longer needed in the Meadowlands. Like, this is a dude that's rash. He's volatile. He's probably not going to be a good leader for the franchise going forward. I don't understand why they would do me like that. Also, he hasn't even changed his area code to a New York area code. It's still Detroit. Is he committed? That's what Aaron Rodgers would have did to you.
So you're making assumptions. And I think that when you're in a situation like this, when you are making the decision, when you are ending the relationship in a professional manner, I'm not doing the actual personal relationship manner.
Yeah.
Professional manner, you owe everyone that same due process.
Have you ever been fired?
I have not, no.
Have you ever been demoted? Have you ever had have you ever gotten bad news at a job?
Yeah, I have.
All right. Have you ever been broken up with?
Yes, I have.
What are your thoughts? Did they do it the right way? Was there a perfect execution in any of those situations? I haven't met anybody who just told me that. I hear all about the proposal stories. I hear about how people first met. Haven't heard anybody tell me this glorious story about how they got broken up with. Oh, this guy's crafty.
See,
Said the perfect words in the right moment.
The situation sucks, but I can't think of a better way to do it.
There's no good way to do it is what I'm saying. And an in-person meeting is the mano-a-mano way to do it. This is a man-to-man, face-to-face at your place of employment. Hey, do you want to play football? I don't know, man. This is what I just play. We're going in a different direction at quarterback. You were going to be critical of anything Aaron Glenn did at that moment, or Morgan Freeman, the GM of the Jets. You were going to be critical of any of those dudes, no matter what they did, because you want to play the victim. The other side of the coin is you said I can't rush to assumptions that Aaron Rodgers would have criticized your phone call to break up with him. But what I can do is tell you that 3 times in 1 minute, he complained about flying cross country. He has a house on both coasts. He flies cross country all the damn time.
Yes.
What is that? So that is a person that it lacks accountability, that's trying to elicit sympathy. So no matter what you would have said, he would have made he wasted some minutes on my cell phone.
But I can't guarantee a reason. But in the situation, I can't guarantee that.
You can't guarantee that he would have complained about the way you broke up with him?
The reason why he pounded not once, not twice, but 3 times, they had to fly across the country to further express how short the meeting was. That's why.
It was short because Rodgers was likely also short. And also, how were they to know that he was in Malibu at the time? How were they not to know that he was near his place of employment? They didn't factor all of that in. They were like, hey, I'm sure for Aaron Glenn, he's like, yo, I haven't even met the dude, but there's no right way to execute this. The way that I grew up, as well as the way that I was taught and the way that I go about things is I handle my business, especially something as big as that, in person. So, yes, I want a meeting at the team facilities. This is what do you want me to meet you at a Popeyes in LA? No.
So do you think that they did not make up their mind before having this 20-minute meeting?
I believe that before any meeting, you have your mind set in a certain direction. You can always be convinced, and it's likely their mind was made up. You can always be convinced. There's always room for conversation, and I would say, even if they were going to say, no matter what, because of how old you are and because we want to start a new program, this has nothing to do with your character, more to do with the direction the Jets are going in. Even if they already had their mind made up, there's still no perfect way to break up with him outside of doing it in person. And I can't say that Aaron Rodgers lacks culpability in the way that the meeting went. Yes, it was short. Rodgers strikes me as a guy that would make a meeting like that short. I don't know.
Didn't he meet with the Steelers for 6 hours?
Yes. That's a much different meeting than a meeting where the Steelers were trying to elicit his services. The Steelers were buttering him up. They were doing what you would have did. Yeah, your meeting would have lasted 6 hours with him as well. He likes being coveted. He does not like being reprimanded. He's like a petulant kid in that way. Yeah, we could go to Disney World. We can hang out. We can high five. We can play a little basketball. We can have some fun. But when it's time for punishment, when it's time for some kind of discourse that is not like feeding you and pumping you with dopamine, he wants to get out of there short.
Yeah, but just as you barely met Aaron Glenn, you haven't met Aaron Rodgers. So maybe behind closed doors, maybe he isn't as spiky.
I've seen him behind closed doors is the issue, though. There is an overexposure of Rodgers content out there directly due to him. He's not like, don't treat him like he's like, who's the pop star?
Britney Spears?
No, I'm thinking of the one that wore the mask over her face for a long time, and then she stopped wearing the mask eventually.
Is this a pop star that
Sia?
I should know?
Sia.
Okay.
I think. Sia. No,
okay.
Sia.
Sia.
It's Sia.
Yeah, true. SIA.
Yeah. She wore like a mask and stuff. She cloaked herself because she didn't want to be as front-facing. She didn't give a lot of behind-the-scenes content. Like, think about those celebrities that have a mystique about them because they keep it all within. The dude does weekly hits on the Pat McAfee show on ESPN. He's not secretive. There's nothing like, oh, I wonder what Rodgers is thinking. I know everything the dude is thinking because he's always talking. Because he thinks he's so smart. And again, he is. I'm sure there's a level of intellect there. I'm not impressed. Aaron Glenn, I can guarantee you ain't impressed. I'm definitely not impressed with his play.
This meeting was to embarrass Aaron Rodgers.
It was not to embarrass him. It was to break up with him.
Yes, and in the way that would embarrass him. That's what it looked like.
How would they do it embarrassingly? They asked him, how do you want us to put this out there? They gave him every chance for this to be a culpable and a serendipitous and a nice affair. And Aaron Rodgers trying to paint it as a crazy thing, and he's using a cross-country flight to elicit sympathy, and it's working on you. Because you're thinking about CCAT flying cross-country. You're thinking about like a middle seat, back of the plane. You know what I'm saying? Like you had a carry-on bag, but because
another assumption.
Yeah, you're rolling down the aisle with your carry-on bag, ready to put it up there in the overhead bin. But oh, guess what? By the time you get to seat 32B, you realize all of them are full. So now the flight attendant makes you walk it all the way back up to check it. And oh, this is the worst because now that you're checking your bag at the gate, you have to wait on the other side. But you had a meeting when you were touching down in New York from LA. Not only are you doing a cross-country flight, you have a meeting to get to. Now you're going to be late for that meeting because you have to wait that baggage claim because you have to now get a bag that is now checked. Not because you wanted to, but because you boarded late onto this plane and you sat in the middle seat between a funky dude and a crying baby. That's CCAT's cross-country flight. That's what you're thinking about. Aaron Rodgers is a much different experience.
Do you think this was not too much to ask of Aaron Rodgers to fly from L.A. to New York or New Jersey and come in person for a 20-minute meeting?
They didn't predetermine it would be a 20-minute meeting. Rodgers, Glenn, and the GM of the Jets, that's what happened because it was a, confrontational meeting because he didn't like what they said. It was short because of Rodgers. Also, they didn't tell his ass to be in California. They didn't call him to a place where he didn't think he might have to show up to here and there. He knew that there was a new head coach of the Jets, right? He got that same update?
Yeah, he was aware.
He knew there was a new GM. He knew there was a good chance he would need to meet with them, talk with them. Not crazy to ask him to come to the team facility. I don't give a damn how you get there. You could take a bus, you could walk, you could run, you could jog, you could crawl.
If he's on his PTO, which is technically is his PTO.
He uses PTO during the season. He uses PTO during practice. So screw your PTO. You're all out. You know what PTO they need? They need professional touchdowns often. And he didn't give them. 888-760-3776. 888-760-3776. Was Aaron Rodgers disrespected by the Jets, or are the Jets one step closer to breaking the curse thanks to Aaron Glenn? 888-760-3776. Hit us up on the Baptist Health Hotline. Do you side with CCAT and Aaron Rodgers, or are you rolling with Aaron Glenn and your boy Theo Dorsey?
You know you're on the right side when you're with A-Rod.
I hate to put you, because you're not technically on his side. You just think the Jets disrespect him.
Yeah, in this situation. I think he sure as well probably had it coming.
Yeah.
But I think that you owe everyone the same process in the situation. And That's not what he got. I don't think that this firing, essentially, of Aaron Rodgers would be the same of anyone else.
He ain't going to let you fill in the blank, bro. 888-760-3776. 888-760-3776. Hit us up on the Baptist Health Hotline. Did the Jets disrespect Rodgers, or did he have it coming? Are you experiencing foot and ankle pain and need to see an expert in the field? Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has a team of foot and ankle orthopedic surgeons and specialists who are regarded as leaders in their specialty. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho to learn more today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care combines its resources of experienced physicians and leading-edge treatments and technology to provide advanced orthopedic, foot and ankle, joint replacement, spine, and sports medicine care. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho for more information today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has offices conveniently located in Palm Beach County through the Florida Keys. Learn more about visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho. 888-760-3776. Was Rodgers disrespected, or are the Jets on the right path? And I will say, C-Cat, I've always been the kind of guy, when I have my mind made up, in the past, when I was doing, I had to break up with people here and there, I had to leave certain situations, I would try to be as quick, honest, and on point as possible. There was only one time I got caught off guard, and it was the time in which I was planning on breaking up with somebody, and then that same day they gave me like a handwritten poem.
Oh, you couldn't go as planned?
Couldn't do it. My heart was softened. It bought them an extra 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying?
That's
2 weeks
tough.
More. Or about. Yeah, it was tough.
And again, what are you doing dating someone with a poem? Really?
Poem, yeah.
It's like 21st century.
It's a good poem.
They wrote it themselves?
Yeah.
Did they like use your name in it? Haiku?
Yeah. I don't know if it was a haiku. I didn't
count the syllables
on it, but it was it was a poem. It was written out.
Wow.
Yeah.
And did you like reference like in the breakup, I was going to then, but that was really nice. I'm going to keep it.
No, I didn't reference the poem in the breakup. I did not. But it did not make the breakup any easier. But also, again, there was no right way to do it. If I break up the day of the poem, I'm the guy that broke up the day of the poem. If I wait 2 weeks and do it, I'm the guy that led on too long or something. Aaron Glenn did it the right way. More on this and to get around on the other side. This is Theoretically Speaking. That's C-Cat. I'm Theo Dorsey. We're riding on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Hi, it's Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike. Did you know that ESPN 106.3 is now made with 30% more electrolytes? Electrolytes? Isn't that great? It's what plants crave. Electrolytes. ESPN 106.3 is really good for you.
The new Spring Blizzard menu is here at DQ Grill and Chill. Cue the confetti. The blizzard of the month is the Confetti Cake Blizzard, a delightful blend of confetti cake pieces and confetti frosting, mixed perfectly with DQ's world-famous soft serve. The Confetti Cake Blizzard, just part of the new Spring Blizzard menu, which also features s'mores, cotton candy, and 2 brand new blizzards, dipped strawberry cheesecake, and mixing bowl mashup. DQ Grill and Chill with 2 locations, 4828 Lake Worth Road and US 1 just south of North Lake.
Hi, this is Evan Cohen here with a special message for the ESPN 106.3 streaming audience. If you're not listening to our stream right now, just cover your ears for a second. This won't take long. Thanks to a recent software upgrade, ESPN 106.3 now streams in stereo. Isn't that amazing? ESPN 106.3 in stereo, left channel, delay, echo. Wow. All made possible by modern technology at ESPN 106.3. Thank you, scientists. ESPN 106.3, streaming now in stereo.
The sports calendar is heating up, and with ESPN Bet Sportsbook, you can go from checking news and stats to placing bets in just a couple of taps. Stream games, bet live, and get exclusive offers when you link your ESPN account. Right now, you can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code JOEQ to get started today. That's JOEQ, JOEQ. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Quarterback Jordan Love isn't just on Green Bay's team. He's also on the American Family Insurance team. Because like us, he believes in dreaming fearlessly.
Just chase your dreams and don't let nobody hold you back.
And we help protect those dreams with the right coverage so you can
dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Ready to take on any terrain? The all-new 2025 Defender 110 P300S is here. Built for those who crave adventure without compromising on luxury. Lease the powerful 2025 Defender 110 P300S for just $889 per month for 36 months. Whether you're tackling the toughest roads or cruising the city, the Defender is ready for it all. Don't wait. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and experience the Defender like never before. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Hi, it's Evan Cohen in the ESPN 1063 Traffic Center. Let's go to our eye in the sky, Chopper Dan. How's it going out there, Dan?
What's cooking today, sweetie?
What a day. Make it a whiskey, sweetheart.
Aren't you doing traffic today?
Chopper Dan, can you hear me?
It's the same story every day. 95 is backed up. There is a wreck on the turnpike.
Dan?
Just one side like a vehicle fire.
Okay, Chopper Dan. Sounds like we'll check with him again soon.
Get off the road, Nana. It's past your bedtime.
Okay, that's enough. Just be careful out there and stay tuned to ESPN 1063. We're keeping our eyes on the road for you.
The Club at Lost Lake, a championship Fazio design golf course in Hope Sound. Golf and social memberships are now available with no waiting list and immediate access. The course and club will see over $10 million in capital improvements and is one of the best private club values in the area. Experience the beauty and challenge of this renowned course for yourself. Enjoy year-round access to exclusive amenities and events. Elevate your game, elevate your experience. Discover the Club at Lost Lake. Visit clublostlake.com to schedule a visit today.
Tired of your sports commentary sounding like it's been crafted by a toaster with a thesaurus? Say no to AI Sports Radio. Hi, this is Evan Cohen, and nothing beats the thrill of hearing a real human fumble their words live on air. Say goodbye to robotic boredom and hello to the chaos of human error with ESPN 1063.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
You know what team has the longest drought of postseason appearances in the NFL right now?
I would have to go with the New York Jets.
New York Jets, 14 seasons.
Yeah, I got it right.
14 seasons. In fact, they have the longest drought of missing the playoffs. They also have the third longest drought without a playoff win. Of course, the Dolphins take the cake at 24 seasons without a playoff win. The Raiders, 22 seasons without a postseason victory. And the Jets, again, 14 seasons ago. The 2010 AFC divisional round game. It was a win in Foxborough over Brady and the Patriots. Mark Sanchez had the game of his life. Talking about those Jets that had LaDainian Tomlinson and Sean Green in the backfield, Braylon Edwards and Santonio Holmes. In fact, was Mike Tannenbaum the GM?
Probably. I think they had Bart Scott.
That
was the Can't Wait team.
Can't Wait.
Or it was the year after the Can't Wait team.
Yeah,
it was one of those teams.
Who knows? Who cares? Who knows who cares? What I do know is that's how long it's been since the Jets have won a playoff game. And after Aaron Glenn's big win over Aaron Rodgers, there's a new Aaron in town. I will say this. That's step one to breaking the curse. The Jets are going to win a postseason game before the Raiders and before the Dolphins. They will be victorious in the playoffs before those two franchises. And I don't think that's even a controversial statement at this point. Also not controversial, the teachings of the Kaiser University Golf Coaching Center. I mean, there's so many ways to improve your golf game at the Kaiser University Golf Coaching Center. They've got the facilities. They've got the tools. They definitely have the coaching you need. You can enjoy the best facilities in the area with outdoor facilities, including an expansive chipping and putting area, practice bunkers, huge putting green, and full swing practice area. Plus, the Kaiser University Golf Coaching Center has a 2,000 square foot indoor training area with 3 hitting bays, private classroom. Talking about complete with cutting-edge video and ball flight technology. This analysis will help you train like a tour pro. The Kaiser University Golf Coaching Center. It's in the heart of Palm Beach County, right off I-95 in the Turnpike. Find out more at KaiserGolfCenter.com. CK, you saw the Black Mirror episode.
I saw them all. Watched the whole season.
First one was I don't know the name of it, but it was the one where the
normal people or good people.
Good people, normal people. Oh no, good people is us.
Common people.
Common people. Common people. Tracy Ellis Ross was in it.
Sure was.
Yeah. Looking good.
No, she's not. I hate to be like a jerk, and I hate to be probably not proper and not polite.
It's okay. It's not your
But
thing.
you tried to name the Aging Like Fine Wine Award.
Yeah.
Go back here on Theoretically Speaking. Aging like fine wine, maybe a player who's pretty old but still's got it, man. They can't not look great on the football field.
Yeah.
I wanted to call it the Salma Hayek Award. I thought that was a slam dunk. I thought that there would be no debate.
It's a good pick.
And you said Tracy Ellis Ross.
Right.
And with all due respect to the Ross family and everything that they've done for music and entertainment, she couldn't shine Salma Hayek's shoes. Like, it's not even close.
Well, you can't even say Selma Hayek's name. It's got you all tongue twisted.
Man, you corny.
Tracy Ellis Ross is beautiful, and she looks great, and she did age like fine wine. It's undoubtable.
She would dominate in AAA baseball, but you bring her up to the majors, and she's batting 0 for 26. It's not even close.
Tracy Ellis Ross is I'm not saying she's like LeBron post 40, right? She's not, still windmilling on fast breaks and still like a championship favorite alongside Luka. But she is, come on, she's James Harden with the Clippers right now.
She is when Jack Nicklaus gets to tee off at the beginning of the Masters. And everyone clap for her. Yeah, she's still doing it. How about that? Did you get dressed yourself this morning? That's incredible. A modern miracle.
You're an idiot.
We're talking to me.
You're an idiot. Absolutely wrong. Disgraceful, if you will. Forget that. The reason why I brought up the dang Black Mirror episode was because when the wife started kind of, I don't want to give stuff away, but they're talking about ads and stuff, and I thought of that as I talked about Kaiser Golf. So I just realized I didn't want to break any kind of, what do you call it?
Ethical code?
Not ethical code, but spoilers. I don't want to be a spoiler.
Oh, you didn't want to spoil Black Mirror?
That's what it was, yeah. I didn't want to spoil. Is that a spoiler for me to talk about the?
So you had a joke and a funny observation for the crowd, for the fans of ESPN West Palm, but you're not going to deliver on it because you didn't want to spoil the episode. I think that's fair.
So yeah, it's nice. I'm a nice guy.
We could have the conversation during the break.
I know. We had the conversation at dinner.
That's true.
This is awkward. The best way to break up an awkward moment on Theoretically Speaking, just hop on the Get Around, go to topic to topic, city to city, all across the nation or the globe, talking the major sports headlines, giving you a little taste of everything. Where are we going first?
Next stop.
We're going to Los Angeles, California.
Oh, that's nice.
That's the home of one of the first-round matchups that tip off tomorrow in the first round of the NBA playoffs, Lakers versus Timberwolves. Luka Doncic was asked about previewing this series, and he said, quote, he's excited for the pick-and-roll matchup that he's going to have with multiple-time Defensive Player of the Year winner, Rudy Gobert. He's excited to match up with Rudy.
Nobody's ever said that about Dikembe Mutombo. Nobody ever said that about Dwight Howard. Nobody ever said that about Akeem Olajuwon. Nobody ever said that about Kevin Garnett. We've got to take away some of these guys' Defensive Player of the Year trophies. Rudy's got 4 of them things. And Luka is licking his chops at a chance to play against the T-Wolves, not because he thinks that the team has a good shot at coming up big against a youthful squad led by Anthony Edwards, not because he just can't wait to get back at a team that he beat last year in the postseason. No. He's licking his chops because of one specific man, and it's the Frenchman, Rudy Gobert. That has to count for something. Also, you remember when he teared up during the tribute, when he went back to Dallas, first time going back to Dallas with the Lakers, before he teared up, stepped on the court, spanked that tail to the sound of 45 points, and got the victory and walked out of there. They asked him what part of his tribute video hit him the most. What was the biggest tearjerker? In fact, it was my homie, Mike Kurt, Dallas Morning News, Dallas Mavericks beat writer, who asked him the question. And Luka said it was the step back jumper on Rudy Gobert when he was talking smack to him.
Wow. So they've got history.
He mentioned Rudy Gobert by word. You don't remember you do remember. You probably just don't. Yeah.
I didn't connect one. Wow.
Yes.
He really hates Rudy Gobert and thinks that he is very low of a human being.
I don't even know if Luka hates Rudy, because there's guys that, like Draymond Green hates Rudy Gobert. He hates his guts. Hates everything he stands for. He obviously goes out of his way to talk down on him. And part of that is, I will say, 30 years from now, when we look back at the great defenders of this era, Rudy Gobert's going to have 4 Defensive Player of the Years, and Draymond's going to end with 1. Something don't sit right with me about that.
That's a good point.
And I think that's what Draymond's fault is in that whole situation. Luka don't hate Rudy. He actually loves Rudy. Luka loves playing against Rudy. He loves the moments he's able to create with Rudy. It's fun.
We have this simmering Europeans are soft versus the American basketball players.
Yeah.
They're on the same team there. You guys are on that
yeah.
world team versus the Americans. They're calling you soft. You should be kind of complimentary of one another. Like, it's going to be a tough matchup. He's won those awards for a reason. I'm looking forward to the challenge. That's what Luka should be saying if he was all pulling in the same direction like Rudy Gobert.
Luka Doncic, he does not respect Rudy Gobert. Most of the NBA doesn't respect Rudy, but he definitely doesn't respect him as much as you should respect the person with 4 Defensive Player of the Year awards. 4 times everybody got together, held hands, and said, who's the best defender in the NBA? They said, oh, that guy, that big tall guy with the Jazz. And now the Timberwolves. And Luka's like, I can't wait to see him trot out there on the court, his big floppy feet, trying to keep up with me. I can't wait to make him do the shuffle and the twister slide. Like, I'm embarrassed for Rudy at this point. And this is a guy who has done some pretty embarrassing things in his career. Remember how he started COVID?
Yes, he intentionally touched every single microphone in the press room when there were rumors about him being sick and contracting the coronavirus.
Yeah, huge pivotal moment in NBA. How about, do you remember when he was literally crying, tears of sadness because he didn't make the All-Star game? You probably don't remember that.
No, I didn't. I don't recall that one.
It was embarrassing. And I'm all for athletes crying because you're supposed to care. These things are supposed to matter to you. He was crying, actually sad. Not mad tears, sad tears, because he didn't get voted into the All-Star game one year with the Jazz. Just saying, we've got to retroactively take away some of his Defensive Player of the Year awards. And I don't say that because I hate Rudy Gobert. I say that because I respect the rest of the NBA, and they don't think he's that good.
Next stop.
We are in baseball season. Let's get weird. Man. We're in Arlington, Texas, because Rangers manager Bruce Bochy revealed yesterday that veteran pitcher Patrick Corbin played through an injury on a Wednesday. Do you want to hear what that injury was?
Yeah, sure.
Apparently, it was the after effects of being bitten by an anonymous venomous creature.
Anonymous.
They don't know what creature it was. It could have been an arachnid, could have been a snake, could have been a spider. But Patrick Corbin played through injury because of a bite from a venomous creature. Are you afraid of spiders?
I'm actually not afraid of spiders. I'm afraid of tarantulas, but those aren't spiders. Those are monsters. Not afraid of spiders, though. I'm not really, if there's a spider in this room, I would continue to do the radio show uninhabited.
How about snakes?
Snakes I'm uncomfortable with. I wouldn't necessarily say I'm afraid of them. I've had my encounters with garden snakes. I mean, again,
we kind of should be afraid of snakes compared to spiders. We crush a spider any day of the week, but a snake has got a leg up on us.
I wouldn't want to touch a snake. I'm creeped out by them. I'm not necessarily fearful of snakes, unless you're talking about, the monster snakes, the anacondas, the great pythons and stuff. If it's just a snake in here, I'd be keep that thing away from me, but I'm not going to run out of the room.
Yeah, the anacondas. And there's no D in anda at the beginning.
Sure?
Yes.
My anaconda don't.
Yeah, it's
my
Anna.
anaconda don't.
No, Anna.
My anaconda don't want done unless you got buns, huh? What's the
boy toy named Troy used to live in Detroit. Yeah, I know the song.
Okay.
But there's no were you the kid when the snake guy came to the classroom or came to your Sunday school and would have
there
the
were
animals?
No snakes in my Sunday school, by the way. I want to put that out there.
Maybe it was just a unique observation that happened in my life.
Snakes were literally the villains in the Bible.
The Steve Irwin knockoff would show up with a bunch of animals, the chinchilla.
Yeah, I don't touch them, no.
Oh, you wouldn't?
No. I don't want to touch. I don't like touching animals. If I'm gonna touch an animal, it has to be a very familiar feel. Anything that feels weird, I don't want to touch it. I don't want to touch a frog. I don't want to touch a lizard. It's weird. I wouldn't touch a snake. Now, I definitely wouldn't touch a bird. I don't want to touch animals. I'm cool on that. I touch people.
Yeah, you are.
People that request to be touched.
So along these lines, I'm asking if you're afraid of spiders. Not really. Not especially phobic of snakes. But you
I don't
are.
like anything with birds.
Yeah, you're afraid of birds.
Yeah.
Why is that?
They have an advantage, right? They have another dimension that they can just tap into at any time. They can fly. I don't like wings. Wings are real fluttery. Very unsettling. You know how some people look at a picture of the weird, honeycomb-like features and they get really weirded out? There's a word for it.
Yes, maybe agoraphobic?
Something like that. I have like a weird fear of wings. I don't like flapping wings. It makes me uncomfortable. It's unsettling to my spirit.
They are unpredictable. They flap out of nowhere.
Ugh. I don't like wings or tails either. Like when a dog wags his tail and it hits me, it freaks me out a little bit.
That's weird. I understand outdoor dining in Florida, you've had to face that fear more often.
With birds and stuff?
Yes, because you're just outside and birds are attracted to the food.
I move. You can ask my wife. If we're outside somewhere and birds are frequenting it, I moved. I remember one time we were at this nice place in Miami Beach, and they had this outdoor seating. It was at this hotel, luxury hotel, nice hotel, on the water. A lot of birds flying in and around, and she wanted to get some content because it was a really nice setup to eat breakfast at. And I told her, I said, no, we're going inside. We got to move back inside. There's too many birds around here. And that's just me. I mean, you can stay outside with the birds. You can kick it with them. I ain't doing it.
All right.
And if there was a war on birds, I would be front line.
Oh,
yeah.
You'd line. So if there was a Planet of the Apes situation where it's war for the planet of the birds,
that's something I would stand for.
You're playing Woody Harrelson's character. Have you seen those movies? He's like leading the human army.
Yeah. I'm more patriotic in my fight against birds than I am for my country.
That was like a lesson that my social studies teacher taught us in like 7th grade, Mr. Brittingham.
Yeah.
He was like, talks to class, opens up. It's like, how many races are there in the world? And people were like, 2, black and white.
Oh, wow.
Maybe how many countries there are, a number like that. And they're like, no, you're all wrong. There's one, the human race.
Yeah!
That's the one race there is in the world.
Woo! Go Mr. Killingard or whatever his name was.
Brittingham, shout out.
Next up.
Good lesson for y'all.
Let's stay in baseball because I'm interested in your opinion on this. We're going to Tampa, Florida. It's a Tampa Bay race. They still play their games there.
Wow.
It's not Minute Maid. They're not in their stadium. They're playing at the George Steinbrenner Field, the Yankees' spring training home. But that's where the Rays actually played the Yankees last night. And New York Yankees infielder Jazz Chisholm was unhappy with the strike zone in last night's game, Yankees versus Rays, and he blew a gasket. He went off.
Yeah,
he tore the home plate umpire to shreds, and he got ejected. Promptly, Chisholm went to the clubhouse after being ejected, ran to X, ran to Twitter, and tweeted out quotes that the call wasn't even freaking, not saying freaking, close. Do you have any problem with a player running to social media after being ejected and voicing their displeasures?
No, we've seen this in other sports as well. Plus, baseball is so passive. I'm surprised they don't let players like live tweet in the dugout. You know? Like live tweeting during an NBA game on the bench, you could get called up at any point. Top of the inning. You know what I'm saying? You're chilling.
There's a lot of standing around in baseball and waiting for play to resume.
They should be allowed to tweet live.
Oh, you think, like, even if you're not kicked out?
They should be allowed to tweet live in baseball. Why not? That'll make it more interesting. Hey, look, you're trying to get more eyes on the sport and stuff. Like, if I was able to get live tweets from a guy in the dugout talking about things that were happening in a contentious game, I might just turn the channel. You know what I'm saying? I might just go see what's going on.
Now,
it would make it more interesting.
But if you were as aggressively passionate about that baseball team and the success of their players as you are maybe about the Miami Heat, maybe about the Kansas City Chiefs, and you've got Jazz Chisholm live tweeting the Yankees down 14-1 in the 6th inning, get your ass off your phone. You'd be angry.
Yeah, sure. It's open to criticism, but I think it should be allowed. It should be permitted. It should not be against the rules. And again, in a world in which like we're so laissez-faire about everything else, but we're so serious about our sport. Oh, you better not do that. Like, just relax. Like, who would it hurt if players were live tweeting in games if they're not actually on the court? How awesome would it be if after like a Draymond Green and Dylan Brooks inevitable fight during the Rockets-Warriors series, like both of them ran to the bench afterwards and were tweeting them?
I guess the NBA would prefer that, since if you leave the bench, it's an automatic ejection.
Yeah.
If everyone said, you know what, this is where I can fight the fight on Twitter.
Let them have their phones. Let them have their phones on the bench in all sports. You can't do it in hockey. Hockey, you can't. Because you literally can get a tap on the shoulder at any moment. And you would hate to be mid-tweet.
God damn it.
I got put in the drafts.
The opponent passed.
Yeah.
Oh, man. They can't get my instant reaction anymore.
That's tough. But no, that's my number one rule for sports when somebody asks me next. Players should be able to live tweet. Or live Blue Sky, whatever you use for your Twitter-esque interactions.
It's not going to catch on.
Twitter sucks right now, man. Why is there so many bots?
Yeah, there are.
It sucks. Twitter is absolutely a terrible place to be. Because every single tweet I see, whether it's good, bad, indifferent, it's like 18 bots under there saying AI-generated things. Or even worse, there's the actual trolls that are still getting it out the mud and doing it themselves.
Now, I did run from Facebook to Twitter when the bots and the recycled stuff took over Facebook. That's like why I joined that social media platform, and that's a primary one. I don't see myself as a 27-year-old jumping again.
See, that's the issue. That's why do you think Facebook is for the unks and the aunties?
Still lives. So
that's what I'm saying. It's living off Twitter will probably live off the backs of people like you who refuse to leave it because you're so inextricably tied to it. Everybody's there. It's where you get your news and all that stuff. I don't blame you either. Or X. We're calling it Twitter. It's X. Because this ain't Twitter. This is a weird wasteland. More random observations on the other side. That's CCAT. I'm Theo Dorsey. We're theoretically speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
The Cleveland Orchestra returns to Miami this May for a final weekend of extraordinary concerts. An electrifying program you won't want to miss, featuring Holst's epic orchestral suite, The Planets. The Cleveland Orchestra in their final Miami concerts, May 2nd and 3rd at the Adrian Arsh Center. Tickets at arshcenter.org.
Hey, Steph Prince here, General Manager of ESPN West Palm, to tell you about a team that has meant a lot to me and this community for a long time. Bob and the team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning have been helping me stay cool for years, whether at home or in the office. And living in South Florida with 3 kids, I don't know what I'd do without them. Family owned and operated, serving Royal Palm Beach and beyond since 1980. Let the knowledgeable and trained team at Bradley help you with your residential and commercial needs, installation, repair, seasonal maintenance, upgrades of all makes and styles and models of HVAC equipment, and so much more. Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning does things right the first time and makes the process smooth, stress-free, and most importantly, keeps you cool. Give them a call at 561-793-7497. That's 561-793-7497 or bradleyair.com. Any need, big or small, trust the amazing team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning.
ESPN 106.3 is your home for live sports presented by Hard Rock Bet. Home of the Miami Heat, now the new home of Inter Miami. Catch all the games and the biggest matchups throughout the week right here on ESPN 106.3. Hard Rock Bet, it's Florida's official sports book. Try Hard Rock Bet now and receive up to $100 back in bonus bets if your first bet does not win. Hard Rock Bet, roll with us. It's offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling, call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 106.3.
WUUB Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Want to accelerate your career as a manager or executive in the exciting industry of sports? Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program is ranked #1 in Florida and 10th in the world. Students learn practical and applied skills from top faculty and experts who work in the industry. With a 94% placement rate for all grads, the full-time MBA program sets students up for success in the world of sports. Check out Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program today by going to business.fau.edu.
Hi, this is Scott Smith of Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather, Florida Injury Lawyers. I have said it many times before, and I will continue to say it for many years to come. There is never a good time for a car accident to occur. And most certainly, never ever a good time to suffer injuries in any type of an accident. The accident and its overall aftermath will usually cause pain, difficulty, and stress. Florida law allows accident victims to recover compensation for such losses, injuries, and damages. But such recovery is often not obtained easily and can require a lengthy fight with an insurance company. If you've been injured in an accident, call us now. Don't delay. The initial consultation is completely free of charge. The sooner you call us, the sooner we can put our experienced legal team to work for you. Don't hesitate or pause for another minute. Our experience, knowledge, and resources could be working for you just minutes after the call. If you've been injured, the lawyers at Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather will help. Call us at 500-HELP, 500-888-8255. H-E-L-P. With Smith Ball, Baez, and Prather, help is just a phone call away. Offices Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie.
The quality of our choices affects the quality of our lives. So, when it comes to how you move, do you choose to see a doctor or go to the #1 orthopedic specialist in the world, backed by a team who custom tailor your treatment? Do you choose to live with limitations or live life to the fullest by going to the place that's #1 at getting people back to what they love? Choose better, move better. Locations in West Palm Beach and Wellington. Learn more at hss.edu/Florida.
The new Spring Blizzard menu is here at DQ Grill & Chill. Cue the confetti! The Blizzard of the month is the Confetti Cake Blizzard, a delightful blend of confetti cake pieces and confetti frosting, mixed perfectly with DQ's world-famous soft serve. The Confetti Cake Blizzard, just part of the new Spring Blizzard menu, which also features s'mores, cotton candy, and 2 brand new blizzards, dipped strawberry cheesecake, and mixing bowl mashup. DQ Grill & Chill with 2 locations, 4828 Lake Worth Road and US 1 just south of North Lake.
Let's go to the Rapids. Go splash, go wild, go together. With over 40 water slides and family-friendly fun, there's something for everyone. Right now, save up to 45% off tickets and season passes. Upgrade and get unlimited visits and free parking all summer long. Experience the all-new Mega Mayhem, Florida's first dueling water coaster. Hurry, this offer ends April 30. Rapids, South Florida's largest water park. Let's go.
What would you do with an extra $700? You can earn up to $700 per year with Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Boost Checking pays 7.0 annual percentage yield on balances up to $10,000. That's up to $700 extra to do what you love. Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Requirements apply to earn the highest dividend rates. Limit 1 checking account per membership. Dividend rates and annual percentage yield subject to change. Business accounts do not qualify. Insured by NCUA, proud partner of Florida Atlantic University Athletics.
Kaiser University's flagship campus, the 100-acre residential campus at 2600 North Military Trail in West Palm Beach, extends Kaiser University's educational offerings to over 100 degrees within the heart of South Florida. Kaiser University also has an athletic program with 24 national championships, including the 2024 Women's Swimming and Diving Championship and Men's Lacrosse title. Visit KUSeahawks.com for the latest.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
Good people.
Chicka chicka yeah.
It's a Good Friday. Good Friday. Literally Good Friday. It's a Feel Good Friday. That C-Cat on the other side of the glass on the ones and the twooskies. You knew it was Good Friday, right, C-Cat?
Yes, I actually got woken up, and while laying in bed doing the casual scroll on the phone, I was told to by my girlfriend that it was Good Friday.
Yeah. Good Friday. Resurrection Sunday, a couple days away. Got a lot of celebratory stuff. People hiding Easter eggs left and right. I'm going to go to an Easter brunch. I think this will be my first time going to an Easter brunch this weekend, so that'll be fun. Also this weekend, C-Cat? NBA postseason is tipping off. The NBA playoffs getting underway. The season starts now. This is all that gallivanting, all that kicking it, all of that, what do we call it? DNP rest, load management. You know what I'm saying? All of that figuring each other out, working on continuity, seeing where pieces fit on the court, learning new head coaches, working in guys after the trade deadline. All of that is behind us, bro. Like, I had a great conversation with my brother earlier today, and we talked about how exciting this time of the year always is, but how specifically this NBA postseason has a little extra juice to it. Like last year, the storyline of the postseason was after the opening round, we lost LeBron, KD, Steph Curry, and there was one other guy. Maybe there was just them, just the big three. And for the first time in like so many odd years, I want to say 20 years or so, we were entering the final eight of the NBA without any of those mainstays. And it was weird. This year, The flip side of that story is both LeBron and Steph, and now Jimmy, who's with Steph, are on teams that actually have a realistic shot at winning a championship, but are also severely underseeded because the youth of the NBA and these newly minted teams that are now contenders atop of both conferences are so much more robust right now. The talent level, the competition, an all-time high. Nobody can definitively tell you they know exactly how these playoffs are going to go, whereas back in 2016, 2017, 2018, in that era, every single year we can say, it'll be one of these three teams. It'll be the LeBron and one of these two teams out of the West. It'll be the Warriors. It'll be the Cavs. It's not like that no more. It's wide open.
Oh, exceptionally wide open.
Especially in the West.
I am kind of tired, and I contribute to this. So, glass house here of the entire conversation around the NBA about what's wrong with the NBA.
Yeah,
Let's just, for 2 months, celebrate some good television. We can go home after our jobs and enjoy.
And that's the good thing, though. You're right, C-Cat. Like, whether you agree with the sentiment that the NBA is, the players, they're all petulant brats and they just want money and they don't want to play. Whatever opinion you have of the regular season.
It could all be true, too.
Yeah, it could all be true. I'm not even arguing with you. I don't care. I honestly don't care. I don't care what you wake up on a day-to-day basis and choose to appreciate, choose to be grateful for, choose to like. I don't care, but it doesn't change my day anyway. Sure. But what I do know is we can all agree the postseason's great.
Yeah.
Postseason's elite. It starts tomorrow, playing games of the night, Mavericks versus Grizzlies and Heat versus Hawks. We'll do a little bit of that later on with Jonathan Zaslow, who joins us to have some Heat-Hawks preview talk. But right now, I want to pick the postseason series. I want to pick the playoffs here with you, C-Cat.
Let's do it.
Got a little NBA music, a little NBA on TNT action going here, and we'll go series by series. Now, atop the West is the Thunder with the 1 seed. Atop the East are the Cavaliers. We'll start out West with the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're the 1 seed. They'll have home court advantage through the West. They open against either the Grizzlies or the Mavericks, depending on who wins tonight. Let's just call them the 8 seed because it ain't going to matter.
That's true. It's like March Madness. You just treat them like that.
Yeah, they're the 8 seed. It's just we were filling out a bracket with the 8 seed. If you think the 8 seed upsets the Thunder, you say the 8 seed win. You get two teams. C-Cat, we're going to do team and how many games. And we'll just pick the opening round of the NBA right here. Thunder, Grizzlies, or Mavericks. I'm taking the Thunder, obviously. And I actually think that this is going to be a sweep. People are not as bold to pick sweeps these days. There's often times where you're like, gentlemen sweep. They'll steal a game here. They're feisty. I look at both the Grizz and the Mavericks. I look at the reporting around who might be available tonight. And I also look at the fact that the Thunder have a point to prove. This is not like the LeBron or Steph-led 1 seed. This is not a veteran-laden team that is going to put themselves on cruise control here and there. This ain't the Celtics either. The Thunder are defensively sound. They have an offensive threat in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, whose efficiency as a guard when it comes to scoring is literally only paralleled by some of the stuff we saw Michael Jordan do. That's how efficient he's been. That's how good he's been. Give me the Thunder in a sweep, and I'm not even going to think twice about it. C-Cat, what do you have in the first round there?
I love disagreeing with you, but I don't at all. The Thunder, until they prove otherwise to me, and I root for the Thunder. I like the Thunder. I spent 2 years covering sports in Oklahoma, so I've got a little bit of attachment there. I think that the Thunder will be regular season tryhards, and they got these records, and they made this reputation, and I think that a 1 seed versus 8 seed is an extension of that.
Yeah.
They're going to bully the little kid in class. And whether it's the Mavericks or the Grizzlies, when you look at the rest of the West, they're going to bully that little kid, that little 8 seed. Thunder in a sweep.
Thunder sweep. They got a point to prove still. And they've got the pieces to do so. Let's go to the 4-5 matchup out west. The Nuggets, the 4 seed, they have the home court advantage against the Clippers. But as we know, 4-5 matchups in the West, or excuse me, in the NBA in general, these things are generally coin flips. Issue with this series is no Jamal Murray. Likely, how long does Kawhi Leonard last? How long does James Harden care about basketball? Is Zubac really a thing, or is Jokic going to abuse him? Remember, Jokic just said you might have woken up a demon, right? This is maybe sometimes the demon is awakened in the darkness or something like that. I forget what he said, but damn it, it was intimidating.
The Bane quote?
Something. It was crazy. You got to look it up. I don't have it. We'll find it maybe later. All I know is that's a man on a mission, A lot of people picking the Clippers here. I'm actually just going to go with best player in the series and also guy who has not let me down in the playoffs year after year. Give me Nikola Jokic and the Nuggets. Give me a 7-game series, though. They'll win Game 7 at home in Denver.
I am an NBA playoff viewer, head and shoulders more than I am an NBA regular season viewer.
Oh, you'll hate the Clippers then.
That being said, I know Jamal Murray is a different basketball player when he is in the playoffs, and the fact that you said he's not going to be available, that makes me go Clippers. I'm going to go Clippers in 6.
And that's the thing. It's hamstring issues with Jamal Murray, right? He's had knee issues in the past. His availability is up in question. You got the Clippers. I still got the Nuggets. I think Jokic just dominates this series. It's going to be one of those will wins. He'll will that team to victory game in and game out. I think they'll think they can single cover him with Zubac, and I think that you can do that for a game. You could do that maybe for 2 games. That's going to be tough for a 7-game series. He's going to have his way. So we got our picks on wax right there. 2 more series to pick here in the West. 3 versus 6. We already talked about it earlier. Lakers, Timberwolves. The Lakers have the 3 seed and home court advantage. They've also got the talent disparity in their favor. If you look at Luka, you look at LeBron, Reeves. People love Reeves these days. But don't sleep on them Timberwolves as a 6 seed, C-Cat. Like, we just saw them in the Western Conference Finals last year. They were a couple of games away from actually going to the NBA Finals. Anthony Edwards has a point to prove as well.
They're the apple of your eye.
I know. He backs down to no man, too. My guy, Ant-Man. He's not afraid of the fight. Julius Randle ain't afraid of the fight. This is also a revenge spot for him. Julius Randle versus the Lakers. Plus, Rudy Gobert, if you have even a semblance of a spine, you have to take it personal, the things Luka Doncic has been saying ahead of this matchup. Forgive me for going with my heart here, but I got the Timberwolves winning this one, and I'm going to go Wolves in 6. I think they get it done at home. Again, they do not have home court, so Game 6 will be in Minneapolis at the Target Center. Give me the Timberwolves pulling this thing out. A disappointing early into the Lakers season, despite how great they are. And remember, C-Cat, just a month and a half ago, I was saying the Lakers can win the title.
Wow.
That's how strongly I still believe in what the T-Wolves can do.
With less X's and O's analysis, I envision that we get Golden State Lakers at some point this postseason, and there is a path there if the Lakers make it past the Timberwolves, so I believe they will do so in 6 games.
That's what the NBA wants. It's just like Patino versus Calipari, second round of the NCAA tournament. The NBA wants Lakers-Warriors. The NBA wants one more version of LeBron v. Steph. That's what we all want, and that's why I think Anthony Edwards is going to upset the apple cart. Last series in the West, Rockets-Warriors. Rockets the 2 seed. Warriors the 7 seed. The Warriors 4-0 against the Rockets in the postseason, dating back to the Warriors dynasty. We remember all those series between 2015 and 2019. This is a new-look Rocket squad. It's a totally new-look Warriors squad with Jimmy Butler. This one was hard for me. Again, the Warriors, another team that I think can win the title. Another team that I actually have a little skin in the game for them to run the table here in the West. But as I root for Jimmy and the Warriors to get it done, I do think that they will upset me in the end. The Houston Rockets, headed by Ime Udoka, who, by the way, has got a bone to pick. This is a revenge spot for Ime Udoka as well against the Warriors. This is a Dylan Brooks revenge spot against Draymond Green. Amen Thompson, the second-year guard for the Houston Rockets, had his way with Steph Curry just a few weeks ago, limiting him to 1 for 10 in 33 minutes, 3 points for Steph. I think Houston has all the dogs to get it done. Fred VanVleet has beaten the Warriors in the finals before with the Raptors. Why not winning an open round game when you have home court advantage? I like Rockets in 7 here. That was a long-winded answer, but Rockets in 7. That's crazy.
Got a lot more content than I've got. I've got what I said 3 minutes ago.
Yeah, you got.
We're going to get Lakers-Warriors, so I'm going to take the Warriors. The Warriors are minus 200 favorites as the 7 seed against the 2 seed Rockets. I'm going to follow the money, and I'm going to follow Steph Curry to the promised land, the second round at least.
There's a reason they're favorite. They are much better after the All-Star break. And, what changed? Oh, they just inserted playoff Jimmy, who dropped like 58 points in the play-in game.
I'm going to take the Warriors in 6 games, though. It'll be fun.
Okay, cool. Let's take it out east. The Eastern Conference first round. The 1 seed is going to be the Cavaliers. They've had a historic year post-LeBron. Best year without LeBron ever. They're going to host either the Heat or the Hawks. Who cares who they're hosting? Both of these teams actually suck. especially when it comes to postseason play against a team like that. Again, the Heat don't suck. I'm sorry. That was harsh. I'm just mad.
Yeah, that was a little bit aggressive.
I'm mad. All right, this is what I'll say. If it's the Heat, Cavs win in 5. If it's the Hawks, the Cavs get the sweep. I can't. The Heat don't get swept.
I am picking the funniest possible scenario, which is the Heat winning tonight, playing the Cavaliers, and the Heat beating the Cavs in 7. Because
oh my God.
It would make this radio station very uncomfortable because we have Theo Dorsey, who has been tank, wants everything for the worst in this regular season and postseason for the Miami Heat. He wants them to get a better draft pick. And a host of the 4 to 6 show is a Cleveland homer who's been riding that bandwagon all the way home. To have the Heat beat the Cavaliers when both of our hosts who root for either of those teams would both be very unhappy, that would be hilarious. Give me the Heat beating the Cavs in 7 games.
I actually like that, and it's funny. You're right. I'll be a little bit upset. But when I look at the rest of the bracket here, how the bracket would shape out in the East region.
Because them winning that series would change your opinion about the team. It would have to. You'd get another sample size.
Now, if they win the series because the Cavs, like, war of attrition thing happens, like the Raptors beat the Warriors in the finals in 19, and it's just like, so there's just Garland now? Then I won't be as happy. If they beat the full-strength Cavaliers somehow, hey, I've never felt euphoria.
You're going to be wearing that Tyler the Hero jersey next week.
Yeah.
Or 3 weeks from now.
I'd be back bought in. But also, I look at the rest of the bracket, and I think the Heat could beat the Pacers or Bucks. I do think the Heat, especially if they can beat the Cavs, why not the Pacers or Bucks, whoever comes out of that series. And then all you got to do is beat the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. Sounds familiar. Don't get me started. Don't do that. The Cavs are going to win. 4-5 in the East, Pacers, the 4 seed, the Bucks, the 5 seed, the News. Damian Lillard's back.
Nice.
He's back from his thigh thrombosis. He had like a vein issue.
Okay.
Vein issue in the thigh. Apparently he's cleared.
Water under the bridge.
Medical miracle. I'm not sure how ready he'll be to go. I'm not sure how quickly he'll get into the series, but he is available at some point. Kyle Kuzma's with the Bucks now. Got Bobby Portis back in the lineup.
Oh,
I don't
Bobby
know, man.
Porter? Okay, Portis,
yeah.
I'm in.
So I'm saying the Pacers are the better team, but the Bucks have Giannis. I got to go with the Bucks here, bro. Am I really going to pick a team headlined by Tyrese Halliburton over Giannis Antetokounmpo? Like, I would never forgive myself.
It does feel disingenuous. That feels like a pick to go for the shock value.
Yeah.
And for the I know ball, you don't. You just look at names. But at the end of the day, the NBA is about the stars.
When the Dame news got announced, the odds shifted. The Pacers were favored to win the series with home court advantage. When the Dame news was announced, the Bucks became the favorite on Hard Rock Bet. I have the Bucks. Dang, this is going to be a tough one. You know what? They don't have anybody that's going to be able to stop Giannis consistently to me. Miles Turner can't do it. Pascal Siakam can't do it. Give me the Bucks in 5.
All right.
That's aggressive.
In 49.
That's aggressive. That's how you make a pick. With your heart. That's how you answer a question, Aaron Rodgers. Not, I don't know if football, that's an interesting. Nah, damn it, I'm playing.
Well, how I make a pick, use a cliche. In 49 states, it's just basketball, but in Indiana, it's everything. Give me the Pacers to win in 7 games. We actually have entertaining first-round matchups where I am of the opinion we should shorten these first-round series to 5 games instead of 7. We have interesting matchups here. Yeah.
Why would you want to shorten the series if it's more interesting?
We normally have uninteresting first-round games, but now, no, we actually have series that will go
7
outside of just the 1 versus 8s. We actually have interesting series that can see some fights being taken up.
Even more interesting, staying in the East, the 3-seeded Knicks hosting the 6-seeded Pistons. Hey, things will get really testy out there in New York if the Pistons are able to upset those Knickerbockers. Now, Detroit has not won a playoff game since 2008. Do you think that's going to make me nervous at all, C-Cat?
No, I'm going to convert my religion to Cade Cunningham.
I love me some Cade Cunningham. I have ever since he was at Oklahoma State. I have ever since he's gotten into the league. I know he had a little injury problems early on. Love me some Cade Cunningham. Love me some J.B. Bickerstaff. Asor Thompson as well, man. I can't do it, though. I can't do it. But I will. Pistons in 7, baby. Give me the Pistons. Detroit basketball. I'm rocking.
Apparently, Tom Thibodeau is still doing Tom Thibodeau things and running the tread off the tires of his players. He runs like 6 or 7 guys out there for the entirety of the game. And I think that that's going to catch up to him in playoff basketball.
Yes.
I think when both sides of the game are much more intense and active and strenuous, everyone's playing defense, I think it's really going to hurt the Knicks. I'm not going to count on their health withstanding a series with Detroit. I'm also going with the Pistons. It's only going to take 5 games.
Wow. I like Stewie to bully Cat, and I like Cade Cunningham to outperform Jalen Brunson. I think but this time next year, Cade Cunningham, we're going to definitively say is better than Jalen Brunson. It's a little tough to say these days, people to get on your case, but give me Cade over Brunson. He'll be the best player in the series. All right, last series out east, the 2-seeded Celtics, the 7-seeded Magic. Can I do it?
No, you can't. I think it's Magic.
I can't do it.
I don't care if it's Paolo. Yeah. Is he healthy? He's playing Paolo Banchero?
Yeah, Paolo Banchero's playing.
I just got to ask that question first before I said that's the only guy they got.
Yeah. Right. That's good. That's a good question to ask. I can't do it.
I am going to reject you doing that. I won't take your word as gospel.
Here's what I will say. It's a more than 0% chance that the Magic sweep the Celtics.
So there is a alternate universe out there.
Not alternate, this universe. It can happen. All they got to do is outscore them 4 times in a row.
That's true. That's all it takes.
It's not crazy. They've done it. They've done it in the regular season. Yeah, I mean, the Celtics will win this one. I don't like the Celtics, though. I mean, that's obviously the point I'm making here. I don't like the Celtics. I don't want to pick them. Can I abstain? I'm abstaining from this.
All right. I'm going to take that as a Celtics win the series because it hurts too much to say it out loud. I love the Celtics. I love the Celtics in 5.
The Magic are young. They are ferocious on defense. And at one point in his life, Paolo Banchero was mistaken for Patrick Mahomes. If that's not enough to do it, what is? And there you have it. Our NBA playoffs first round picks. I think that went well.
Yeah, I think we have more interesting series this year is what I was getting at than years past, in the first round at least.
Yes. So if you look at the history of the NBA, on average, there's 15 playoff series, right, every single year. 15 playoff series from the beginning on to the finals. On average, underseeded teams have won 4 out of those 15 series. It's rare. It's rare for underdogs, teams that don't have home court advantage, to actually upset another team and win the series. Last year, we saw 6 out of 15 underseeded teams win. And over the past decade or so, there's been a spike past that number of 4. It happens more often than not. You're going to get a lot more underseeded teams winning. Number one, because there's been a deprioritization of the regular season. Teams don't care what their record is. Number two, you're looking at an NBA where the weight of what is moved at the trade deadline is so much more impactful than years past. Look at this year alone. Luka Doncic is on the Lakers now. Now, I know that they rose to the 3 seed, but they were a game or 2 away from being the 6 seed, and they could be the ones without home court advantage. Luka on the Lakers, totally different team. Jimmy Butler's on the Warriors now. Their record post-All-Star break is like 2nd in the league. But they're the 7 seed. That's why they're favored against the Rockets. They probably are the better team. I just think the Rockets could maybe shut Steph Curry out of the series. And if they are able to shut Steph Curry out, not out of the series, you're never going to stop him totally. But you do have the weaponry to make it very tough on him. Rockets-Warriors is going to come down to the referee's whistle. How aggressive, how physical can they get with Curry before they get into foul trouble? And that'll be what decides it. And what I'm predicting is the refs let them play a little bit. So, again, for the NBA action, those are our postseason picks. I do see more upsets happening this year. You say you like it. There's a lot more thrill around the action. I like it as well.
Tell you what, some of these series that are deprioritized in terms of the TV schedule, it's going to be hard to find them on your TV guide or whatever you have.
I got a place.
Where?
Duffy Sports Grill.
Oh.
80 or more televisions in there. You don't have to find them. You can just ask your waiter or waitress, hey, can you turn it to the Hawks game? You notice I said Hawks, right? You turn it to the Hawks game, turn to the Thunder game. You can ask them, and then they can figure it out for you, and they can put those games on the 80 or more televisions at your nearest Duffy's Sports Grill. Duffy'sMVP.com, that's the place to go to find the Duffy's nearest to you. You can also check out the menu while you're there. Like I always say, 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. Love the amazing mozzarella sticks. Perfectly crispy. Perfect amount of cheese to batter ratio there. Hot. Coming out fresh on the hot plate. Dip it in the marinara sauce. Have yourself a ball. You love the ahi tuna.
Tuna tataki, baby.
Oh, the tuna tataki.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, they had it at the Orange Bowl Food and Wine celebration. And boy, while I tell you, it was a hit.
I was like putting on fake mustaches to go to their table to not feel awkward. I was taking more than just one serving.
It was going crazy. It was going smack. And then also, of course, you got the award-winning burgers and the award-winning wings at your nearest Duffy's. Don't forget the double play, the Duffy's double play. That's the lunch special during the weekdays, just $7.99. Tap in. You will not be displeased. Duffy'sMVP.com. Duffy'sMVP.com. And remember, at Duffy's, our game is always on. All right, C-Cat, more ball on the other side. We got Jonathan Zaslow from ESPN Radio joining us here soon, but we also gotta see the cat bite. We're theoretically speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
The pink smoke is taking over South Florida. Listen to Lionel Messi, Luis Suarez, Sergio Busquets, and Jordi Alba and Inter Miami in their pursuit of an MLS Cup all season long right here on ESPN 106.3.
Messi, left foot, in on Guzan, tips it up and over, it's a goal! Lionel Messi is on the board!
Listen to it all on the Deportes Radio FC app, brought to you by PNC Bank, Audi, and Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fraunrath.
As market dynamics change, the quality and service you receive from your accounting firm shouldn't. Partner-owned since 1923, Anshin Accountants and Advisors take the time to get to know you and your unique circumstances to help resolve complex issues and develop innovative tax and accounting solutions tailored to meet your goals. If you're a high-net-worth individual or business owner eager for a strategy to maximize tax savings, let Anshin deliver value where others can't. Visit ANCHIN.com. Anshin Accountants and Advisors, recalculating what's possible.
Kaiser University's flagship campus, the 100-acre residential campus at 2600 North Military Trail in West Palm Beach, extends Kaiser University's educational offerings to over 100 degrees within the heart of South Florida. Kaiser University also has an athletic program with 24 national championships, including the 2024 Women's Swimming and Diving Championship and Men's Lacrosse title. Visit KUSeahawks.com for the latest. While it's not always possible to see contaminated water coming out of the faucet, the taste is difficult to ignore. And what about plastics and pharmaceuticals now in the water? The team at Culligan is here to help. Culligan offers water testing and reverse osmosis systems designed to filter out those contaminants right at the source. Culligan has been helping the local community with water issues since 1936. Schedule your appointment today at Culligan.com.
Hey, Culligan!
Banyan Printing. For 47 years, the trusted partner for all your printing, mailing, and signage needs. And 2025 just brought something big to Banyan. Introducing Banyan's new press. Bigger, faster, and more competitively priced than anything you'll find anywhere in the Palm Beaches. Think variable data postcards, bulk mailings, and high-quality print on stocks up to a 24-point board. Banyan Printing. Visit banyanonline.com and discover how your business's printing materials can get bigger and better.
Breaking news from Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach. No tariffs on all new Kias. Put your tax refund to work today. That's right. While others talk tariffs, Greenway Kia gives you unbeatable deals. Tariff-free. Turn your tax refund into your dream ride now.
Like a 2024 Kia Telluride starting at just $38,998. That's thousands less than the competition. Plus 0% financing available on select models and tariff-free pre-owned vehicles ready to roll. Got a trade? Push it, pull it, drag it. Any make, any miles, any condition. We'll take it. Got a job making $350 a week? Our lenders want to approve you. Put your tax refund to good use. Drive away tariff-free today at Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach. Call 800 New Kias or visit Greenway Kia WestPalmBeach.com.
We want to see ya in a Greenway Kia.
Credit affects down payment and approval terms, plus tax, tag, and $9.99 admin fee. Negative equity refinanced. Offers don't combine.
This is ESPN 106.3's Mike Rizzo, and recently I had the pleasure of speaking with Dr. Curtis J. Keppert. Dr. Keppert is an orthopedic surgeon who specializes with injuries in the shoulder, elbow, and knee. And Dr. Keppert loves getting an athlete back to 100% and where they need to be.
Just their desire to get back to, the thing that they love to do, and taking them through a low point when somebody gets an injury, and when it is, especially when it's a surgical problem, they know maybe an ACL, they're going to be dealing with this for a year before they can get back, and just taking them through that low point, fixing the problem, and then guiding them through that recovery, and then you see them back out there playing, and it's the best feeling ever.
That's Dr. Curtis J. Keppert with the Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group. For physician referral, call 866-654-2362 or go online to pbhnphysiciangroup.com.
Tired of being sidelined by a sports injury? Get back in the game with Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Whether you're a professional athlete or even a weekend warrior, you can get back to doing what you love with our compassionate orthopedic team. Experience a new level of care and get back to your best. Welcome to being treated like a pro. Make an appointment today at baptisthealth.net/ortho or call 833-556-6764.
Time now for the coolest moment of the week. Presented by EDS Air Conditioning and Plumbing. EDS is yes.
The Mavericks face the Grizzlies on the road tonight for a spot in the playoffs for an opportunity to get thrashed by the Thunder. But they might have a humiliation cake because head coach Jason Kidd earlier this week, this had to be the coolest moment. He had a great analogy for what the Luka trade might have been.
This is a business. It happens, right? Trades happen. This won't be the last trade. Some are comparing it to Babe Ruth, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, that's literally cool. It's the coolest moment of the week.
He's playing it cool.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
EDS Air Conditioning and Plumbing coolest moment of the week is Jason Kidd finding it cool that people are comparing his team trading away Luka Doncic to the singular, like the worst trade in the history of baseball. It caused like an 100-year curse, right?
Like our name's going to be in the history book. That's kind of cool. Like they'll learn about it in sports ethics.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's like how Brett Favre found it cool to be the person to be sacked by Michael Strahan.
Kind of cool.
The guy that got dunked on by Vince Carter in the Olympics, or dunked over.
You could just be not remembered at all or remembered for something.
That's kind of, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. Who's the guy, the baseball guy that let the ball run through his legs and everybody hates him? Bartman?
Bill Buckner.
Bill Buckner.
Steve Bartman also
had an incident as well.
He's also very famous. I don't think he would think that's cool because like Chicago hated him and he needed to be going to essentially a witness protection program.
Oh, wow. It got serious.
That's kind of cool, though.
That's kind of cool.
I've always asked myself, what if I was in witness protection?
I think if I was in witness protection, I'd get bored. Because, like, what if my new identity kind of sucks? You know?
Yeah.
Like, what if my new identity, I can't come up with a nice moniker, like, theoretically speaking? Like, I'm Theo Dorsey right now, theoretically speaking works. I'm like Justin Johnson. It's like.
What would be your alter identity profession be? Yeah. I thought about this.
It's probably something in like social work. I'll probably be a therapist.
Easy. I'd be a fireman. I've heard stories. I've got firemen in the family or EMS of firemen in the family. And honestly, yes, you risk your life maybe once a week. Maybe I'm being generous or not generous enough with how many times you risk your life. it sounds like just hanging out with the dudes in the clubhouse. Like the stories you hear from the firehouse is like, yeah, he's a really good on the grill, so he makes lunch for everyone on Wednesdays. We have our softball team. Like, that sounds pretty sweet. If I wasn't doing this, being a fireman would be pretty sick.
Problem is, fireman's kind of like a single dude job. Because of how much risk and how away from the crib you are and all of that stuff. Like, and being in witness protection sometimes is like a single dude job because can you go into witness protection with your wife? It's kind of a dead giveaway.
Yeah, like that. Or if you have kids, you got to keep their trap shut. Like, not really going to work.
You know what I think sometimes? I don't think about what I would do in witness protection. I think about, have I met and befriended anybody who's in witness protection? Like, there could be an ESPN West Palm teammate here or something that, like, is just in witness protection, like, whole different identity. Mike Rizzo might be a witness protection guy.
He kind of leads on a little strong.
Yeah.
Like, we get it, dude. You like sports.
Right.
You like sports talk radio. Right.
He might be a witness protection guy. If I were just to pick one out of the personalities that are on air here, I would not be surprised out of the 6 or 7 of us that you hear and listen to and watch on YouTube. Mike Rizzo is I might be witness protection guy. I might be playing a double fake on you right now. I'm like, oh, what if? But this could be me. That could be witness protection.
You were TV, but people started to recognize you from a random town in Arizona. They're like, wait a second. That news story I recognize him.
Right. Or maybe I could be in witness protection and not even know it. What if I went into witness protection at like 2 years old and they changed my identity to protect my people who obviously were caught up in the mob? Like, it would be mob stuff, right? I wouldn't want it to be something embarrassing like, you're like not like let around schools anymore or something. Like, what all do you?
I don't think they give witness protection for those people. No, we're not going to CCAP night today.
We're not?
No, we're not going to do it today. We're on a tight clock here. Instead, we're going to talk about. Let's see.
Yeah, I guess they do the opposite of witness protection for the people that are not allowed around schools.
Yeah.
They actually highlight you for the rest of your life on maps.
Yeah, we're not protecting you from anybody.
You're right.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
I'm misconstruing the whole purpose of witness protection. It's not to shield you from embarrassment.
You show up on a Kendrick Lamar album cover. Yeah, that's what you do.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
One thing I can tell you for sure is that the water at Theo Dorsey's house, woo.
Oh, it's good.
It's pure.
It's pure. It is filtered. It is softened. Softened. When I say softened, I like to say softened, not soft in. Softened. Like the T is silent. Because I have a water softener. Thanks to Culligan, right? Culligan.com. That's where you can go to get your water softened. Or you can also get it decontaminated, filtered. I have a reverse osmosis system as well. All right. They hooked it up right under my sink. It actually provided for a good moment for me to clear out some of the stuff I had sitting under the sink. You know how under the sink looks. Usually it's jam-packed with grocery bags and cleaning supplies you never use. And then there's like that random sponge you bought 2 years ago, and it was like an extra sponge in the pack, so you put it down there. But then it got covered up by grocery bags, so it got pushed to the back. And you never find it until you finally pull everything out. Oh, man, we didn't have to buy that sponge that one time when we were in a pinch. All of that to say, when I got the Culligan system, it helped me in more ways than one. Softened water. I got a lot of those toxins that they told me about out of my water. Water tastes great. When I wash my body, don't need to use as much soap. When I wash my clothes, it does not damage them in the way that the previous water would have with all the minerals in it. Culligan, the great thing about Culligan, too, you get a free water test. They'll pull up to your house. They will test your water for you and tell you what's in it, what toxins, what pharmaceuticals, what kind of things have seeped into your water. Because I'll tell you right now, I just looked it up the other day. Florida has terrible water. Absolutely, it is nearly criminal how bad the water is in Florida. You might want to have Culligan pull up to your house, test the water, and make sure you're not poisoning your family or yourself. Culligan.com to tap in with Culligan Water. Have them test out your water system. There is a new low monthly rate. Get that water test today. See if you can use some of their equipment. Culligan.com. Jonathan Zaslow joins us on the other side. We're going to talk a little bit of Heat, Hawks, a little bit of play in action. I know he's all in on the Heat winning. Me, I'll just live with the results. That's CCAT. I'm Theo Dorsey. We're Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Miami, get ready for high-intensity baseball as your Marlins take on Shohei Ohtani and the World Series champion Dodgers at Lone Depot Park, May 5th through 7th. This action-packed series promises edge-of-your-seat excitement as your fish face off against the defending champs. Experience the electric atmosphere in this thrilling National League matchup. Tickets are selling fast. Secure your seats today at marlins.com/tickets.
Is your air or water flowing perfectly in your home? If the answer is no, EDS is yes. Theo here, and for me, EDS Air Conditioning and Plumbing is my go-to, and it should be yours too. EDS is Palm Beach County's trusted AC and plumbing expert. They'll make sure your air and water flow perfectly. EDS is a train comfort specialist. It's hard to stop a train. Go to edsisyes.com. That's edsisyes.com. When comfort matters, EDS is yes.
Hi, this is Scott Smith with Smith Ball Baez and Prather, Florida Injury Lawyers. We are a Florida civil trial law firm that specializes in the areas of personal injury and wrongful death. Our offices are located in Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie. Our lawyers have litigated thousands of matters at the Palm Beach, Martin, St. Lucie, and Indian River County courthouses. Our lawyers, paralegals, and other numerous members of our legal team live in Palm Beach County and Treasure Coast cities and towns such as West Palm Beach, Port St. Lucie, Lake Worth, Palm Beach Gardens, Palm City, Jupiter, and others just like you and your families. We are a statewide recognized law firm, but it is your community and your families that we live and associate with on a daily basis. Our most satisfying achievement is when we know that our legal power has helped a fellow member of our Palm Beach County and Treasure Coast community secure a fair and just huge result. If you've been injured, the lawyers at Smith Ball Baez and Prather will help. Call us at 500-HELP, 500-HELP. With Smith Ball Baez and Prather, help is just a local phone call away. Offices Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is Theoretically Speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
No team in NBA history has ever, as the 10 seed actually made the playoffs, and able to do so since we've had the play-in tournament. You would have to win back-to-back road winner-take-all games. That's the situation the Heat find themselves in. They can make play-in history. The kings of the play-in court, the Miami Heat are these days. Oh, what a joy it is to celebrate the Heat. We're about to bring in our guy, Jonathan Zaslow, who is the voice of the 305 for us. He spews the Heat culture. He's a better Heat fan than I because he believes longer than I do. Sometimes I give up a little too quick. But one thing that I do actively against the Heat before we bring Zaslow in, I beat the Heat. I beat the Heat like most teams in the playoffs. Or not playoff, in the regular season this year. I beat the Heat, and the way I do it is with EDS Air Conditioning and Plumbing. Yeah, you see what I did there? Curveball.
Exceptional.
See what I did there, CCAT? EDSIsYes.com. EDSIsYes.com. Is your air or water flowing perfectly in your home? If the answer is no, EDS is yes. All right, EDS is Palm Beach County's trusted AC and plumbing expert. I would know because I am a Gold Plan member. I get 2 check-ins every single year. Preventative care plus the repair. They'll make sure your air and the water flow perfectly so you can relax in comfort. Plus, here's the best part, especially for you, CCAT. You love to control your outflow, your inflow. You want to be frugal with your bread. They're not going to let your budget stand in between you and the comfort you deserve. Flexible financing options with EDS Air Conditioning and Plumbing. Call today or visit EDSIsYes.com because remember, when comfort matters, if you want to beat the Heat, get your AC right. When comfort matters, EDS is yes. When Miami sports matters, Jonathan Zaslow is the man for the job, but he can't talk until he hears his wonderfully crafted open.
You might know him as the Cooper City Rattlesnake. He's the human flamethrower of Miami sports radio.
Hey, you could be a maniac without being a jerk.
The preacher of the Pat Riley gospel.
They don't complain. They don't make excuses. This is the NBA. Deal with it.
The mayor of Dolphins Delusion.
Can the Bills offense keep up with the Dolphins offense?
And the only guy who can go from breaking down the Panthers power play to cutting a full-blown Ric Flair promo. Woo! Jonathan Zaslow is the voice of the 305.
Zaz, you do a lot of radio everywhere, right? You got Zaslow Show 2.0.
Everywhere.
ESPN Radio. Your voice and face is heard all throughout the nation. How many shows where your name is not on it have a better open than that?
I mean, my show doesn't even have an open like that. I get right to the action on Zaslow Show 2.0. I mean, you guys, you roll out the red carpet for me. I love that. Thank you.
You're great, man. We do it because we appreciate your presence here on this show, and you have to talk some sense to me, especially as a Heat fan on a day like today. The play-in is tonight. It's in Atlanta, so thank God we don't even have to make up an excuse as to why we're not going to it in person. They have a shot at making it to the playoffs so they can be fodder for the Cleveland Cavaliers in the first round. Zaz, just before you know where I stand on all this, but before I even talk about it, just you as real Heat fan, as voice of the 305, what are your thoughts? What are your feelings going into tonight?
Oh, I think they're going to win tonight. You know, I wasn't as confident going into the game in Chicago the other night. The Heat were 0-3 on the season against the Bulls. You know, it's been a lousy year. And then in the middle of the game, I was like, what were you thinking? like there was not a moment in that game on Wednesday night where you didn't believe the Heat were going to win.
Yeah.
And I know the Heat have blown double-digit leads throughout this season, including all three times they played Chicago in the regular season. They blew double-digit lead, all right? So I get it, but that was such a game that you look at like, of course the Heat were going to win that game. Based on the season they've had, of course they were going to show up in a game like that when it mattered. It was exactly the type of game that the Miami Heat win. It's a lousy Bulls team. Doesn't matter that it's on the road. And most everybody on this Heat team, they've been through big playoff games, all right? They know how to play in a big spot. And the same thing is going to wind up happening tonight against the Atlanta Hawks. And I got news for you, Theo. If you were to give the Cleveland Cavaliers, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that the Heat would beat the Cavaliers.
Yeah.
But if you're going to sit here, if you would give the truth serum to the Cleveland Cavaliers and you said, who do you hope wins this game tonight? I'll just let you answer it, Theo. If you gave the Cleveland Cavaliers truth serum, who do you think they would answer when you ask them, who do you hope wins tonight and you play in the first round? The answer is who?
Yeah. Well, I would say the Heat. I would say the Heat.
You think they're room for the Heat? They'd rather play the Heat than the Hawks.
Here's the thing. If they play the Heat, the Cavs likely win in 5. If they play the Hawks, they probably walk out of there with a sweep. The reason why I would say the Heat, here's the thing. The reason why I would say the Cavs will want the Heat is, number one, you want your players to be tested and challenged a little bit in the first round. Number two, who's the owner of the Cavaliers and what franchise does he hate almost the most? Dan Gilbert, the Miami Heat.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
so you're talking about like a personal vendetta.
Yeah,
and I'm talking about the coach, the players. Like they don't care about Dan Gilbert's vendetta against the Heat.
Nobody. Let's not act like people fear this Heat team in any kind of realistic way. Jimmy Butler's not walking through that door. When your number one option is Tyler Hero, and behind him it's like, oh, let's see if Andrew Wiggins can chunk up 20 shots and make 6 of them. Like, I don't think we have a real shot at beating anybody in the 7-game series.
The Heat have never played the Cavs in the playoffs. You know that? That has never been a postseason matchup.
Wow.
In Cleveland. They've never faced Cleveland in the playoffs.
Also, a 10 seed has never made it into the playoffs. The Heat, this is perfect timing for the Heat to do another unthinkable from the play into the finals.
We are talking about the greatest play-in team in the history of the NBA. I mean, I dare you to counter that argument.
Zaz, that's embarrassing.
No play-in team. I didn't say whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. All I said was they're the best, they're the greatest play-in team. The NBA has been around for 100 years. The Heat are the greatest play-in team before you get to the playoff, you got to play in.
Yeah.
And the Heat are the greatest play-in team ever. No other play-in team has ever reached the NBA Finals. Only the Miami Heat. The Heat are the greatest play-in team of all time. And by the way, underrated play-in rivalry. Heat Bulls. 3 straight years that the Miami Heat have eliminated the Chicago Bulls from the play-in. underrated. Maybe someone would say greatest play-in rivalry, Heat Bulls.
Zaslow, we used to be a proud franchise.
I'm not saying whether you should be proud or not proud of anything, but everything I just told you is a fact.
We was Wolves. Now we're play-in fodder. I hate this. I hate the whole play-in. I love the play-in for why it's there and what it stands for. Like what the play-in is for teams like the Warriors. It's not supposed to be for teams like the Heat.
I don't
and
think
the
it
Hawks
is.
and the
I think
Bulls.
the Warriors should be embarrassed that they had to have a play-in game.
No. They're a different team than they were before the trade deadline. They were one of the best teams afterwards. Jimmy Butler is the new-look Warriors team. It's a tightly contested West, and they are an actual team that can win a title. I think it's for teams like that to sneak their way in and have a shot. It's not for the Heat so that they can play extra games before they get beat up on.
I would change the play-in. They're not going to change it because they just sold these games to Amazon, all right?
Yeah.
That's what it's going to be on next
And it's
year.
the SoFi play-in.
But I would.
Is that why my interest rate went down?
I would guarantee playoff spots to the top 7 instead of the top 6. And instead of having 3 play-in games per conference, so 6 total, I would have just 2 per conference and 4 total, where I would have 9 play 10, and the winner of that plays 8 for the 8th spot.
Yeah.
Like I think it's too many play-in games. I don't know that over an 82-game season, the 7 seed should be in jeopardy of losing their spot in the playoffs to a 10 seed. You had 82 games.
Yeah.
All right. Should the team that's 3 positions lower than you be allowed to knock you out of a playoff spot? I don't know that I necessarily agree with that. That's a change that I would make, but I don't think they're listening to me.
No, I don't think
anyone called me before they signed this deal with Amazon and said, Zaslow, what do you think? I missed that call.
Yeah, I was about to say, and that's what I say. Don't ever assume that they're not listening. You might have missed a mail. You might have missed a call.
It's possible.
You probably are randomly in a group chat that you muted where that was being discussed. So you just never know.
Sometimes you gotta mute the group chat sometimes. I don't need my phone buzzing all the time.
I absolutely have to mute the group chat because of the way my attention span works. If my phone buzzes one too many times, I'm going to have to inevitably look. So most group chats I'm in get muted.
Got to.
Jonathan Zaslow joining us, voice of the 305, Zaslow Show 2.0, talking a little Heat Hawks tonight, play-in action, which will be right here on ESPN 106.3, by the way. They tip things off 7:30. I didn't even look because I don't plan on – okay, 7. Here's the thing, Zaz. I got to be honest. I wanted the Heat to have the lottery pick. I didn't want them to have to give their pick up to the Thunder. Oh, whatever. That ship has probably sailed. Sold? Sailed? The ship sailed? Yeah, you're right. Here's what I'll be honest about. I don't think I care about the result of tonight's game. Like one way or the other. Heat win, cool. Heat lose, fine. I'm not moved by this game at all, and I don't know what that says about me.
No, it's just, I mean, it says this season has been lousy, and like
I'm ready for it to be over.
Yeah, when it's over, you're ready. You're done with it. All right. Look, if the Heat lose tonight, I'm not going to lose any sleep. But if the Heat win tonight, I'm into the playoffs. Give me at least another 4 games. Can you go into Cleveland, put a little bit of a scare into them? Can you steal one of those first 2 games? You get a fun atmosphere in front of the home fans for games 3 and 4. I can't root against this team.
Yeah.
You know, the other day on Wednesday night, sit down with my boys. My younger son comes in. Heat Bulls like, all right, we're rooting for the Bulls, right? Because we want to.
There we go.
Lottery. So
That's my guy.
I'm like, no, I can't do it, man. I can't do it. Now maybe when the game's over, I'm not going to lose sleep, and then I could talk myself into, all right, cool, lottery pick. But when the game's going on, when I sit down on the couch in the Zaslow Mansion family room, it's about the Heat, man. It's about winning that game tonight.
I'll say you got good genes, man. Your son thinks well. He's on the same accord with me on this, and I appreciate that.
He's better at looking at the big picture than I am.
Yeah.
Quick, Zaz, before you go.
Yeah.
Cena or Rhodes, who's going to win on Sunday in WrestleMania?
Oh, what a great question. I'm so locked into WrestleMania this weekend. John Cena is going to win his 17th World Championship. That's right. He's going to shock the world. Cena is going to walk out Sunday night
17?
with that title. 17.
How many they play these things 5 times a year?
He's been around for 25 years.
17? Was anybody else competing? Is this like the Celtics run in the 60s? Who else is playing?
Here's the underrated part of it. It means he's lost it 16 times.
Really?
Well, yeah.
Wow. Okay, Jonathan Zaslow, Zaslow Show 2.0. You know where you can find the man. He's great. As always, I appreciate your presence. We'll catch up with you next week.
Thanks, guys.
Go Hawks tonight. Don't tell him I said that.
Not
Go in love, go in peace, go enjoy. Have a happy weekend. This is Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
At St. Lucie Battery and Tire, batteries came before tires. We've been selling and servicing all types of batteries for over 50 years. So when you need a battery for nearly anything, we have it, as well as the fast professional installation you need. We carry premium batteries for all your needs: automotive, commercial, marine, RV, and specialty. We also offer delivery and on-site installation, serving our customers quality products for over 50 years in the home of honest, reliable service. Go to slbt.com and book your next appointment.
Mike Rizzo here with the Sports Business Minute presented by the FAU MBA in Sport Management program. Juan Soto, 15 years,